Who doesn't love a Volkswagen Tiguan? I don't know, I couldn't answer that because I think everybody should. And in fact, since the last generation launched in 2016, there have been between 400 and 450 sold per month. That's like not heard of very often. Okay, so that just goes to show. I think the only reason whenever I recommend it to people, because I always do, it's probably always on my list, is because it's seen as quite expensive. Thankfully, the new generations and everything is getting to be a lot more, I don't think that even a good grammatical sentence. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that there is more spec in the newer models, and so I suppose value for money then starts coming into it. So it's like driving a raised Golf, and you can't fault that car, so you know it's a goodie. So then, how do you take an already practical, pretty awesome car and make it more practical? Well, you add an extra row of seats, obviously. So I'm in the new Tiguan Allspace, and it's just as glorious as I expected it to be. It's 210 millimeters longer than the standard one. It's 110 millimeter longer wheelbase than the standard Tiguan. You've even got an extra 150 millimeters of boot space, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when it comes down to it and you've got to squish in that extra pillow bag, or I don't know what it's a pillow bag, but you an extra bag or something, it's gonna count. Just to point out, these are just for sure. There ain't no air coming out of there. And in fact, with the last row of seats folded flat, you get 700 liters of boot space, which is pretty epic. For me, what I would do is buy this car, even if I had 2 kids. Actually, I would buy it. I don't have kids and I'd still buy it for the fact that you get this big spoot. This big spoot. Okay guys, it's a Sunday. I might have had a few drinks yesterday or the day before. I feel like I'm losing my speech. But you know, go with me, stay with me. I would buy this for that reason alone, from just like the space point of view, regardless of those seats, because they ain't comfortable, let me tell you. You need to be a very teeny tiny little child to be sitting in those. So they're sort of great for that, I guess. But I would buy this for just so that I could squish those flat and have a much bigger boot. Okay. Oh, let me take this bad boy off. Oh no, these are my worst. Okay, so that's why. I'm just gonna put the one up because it's too tight. Okay, so that. Okay, so guys, that's quite squishy to tell you. Like, I'm really short, and like, look at my head. So it really is like for very, very, very small children. Wow, I'm now like quite exhausted, I have to tell you. Okay, let's put this one up. There we go. So now you can see, like this, I moved the seat forward because you can. This side has not been pushed forward, and my knees are now like, well, like under my chin. I feel so small. Right, so, oh god, how do I get out of here? Well, I really hope I'm not stuck. Oh no. Generally there's a way. Ooh. Obviously you've got the standard Tiguan engines. There's also a new 2-litre turbo petrol with 132 kilowatts of power. If you want the top of the range Highline, the 2-litre TSI, that's 162 kilowatts. You can also choose between a diesel, the TDI, and of course a 1.4-litre turbo petrol. So you really are spoiled for choice when it comes to engines. It drives like the standard Tiguan, so which is quite impressive considering you've got more car here. So it's an excellent ride. Oh my gosh, it's smooth, it's comfortable. The DSG gearbox is just possibly one of my favorites. You're looking at spending just over 460,000 Rand for the entry-level Tiguan, which is just a little bit more over the standard Tiguan. But remember that you're getting more car, more space, an extra row. So it makes sense. If you want the top of the range TSI Highline, the 162 kilowatt, then you're looking at spending just over 600, or just under 605,000 Rand. The visibility in this car is really, really generous. It's really awesome. Even if you're in those very back seats, they added a window there so that you're not claustrophobic and stuck in the back there like like not being able to see out is like my worst. I hate that feeling. So, but if you look around, there's so much. Then you've got this, okay, I don't have it open, but maybe we should do that because, I mean, it is raining after all. And I'm opening the whole thing. Ah! Stop! No! Oh God, now I look like a doers. Oopsie. How does one close it? Let me just pull this over. I'm now being rained on. There we go. Okay, that was really not meant to happen. Okay. So a lot more window there, you see? That is probably what I should have been pressing. Instead I pressed that to open the window. I think this touchscreen is probably one of my favorites that are on the market. It's really flippin' easy to use. And to pair your phone, everything is just so simple and slick and easy. However, I just wish that we would still have a volume knob somewhere. And no, it's here because now it works really well. It's touch sensitive, so as you press the volume, it's great. The problem is that when you now stop somewhere and you want to normally I just do this and turn my volume. No, I can't do that. Ah! What is happening?
Oh, you're bad enough to me, bad enough that we always have something.
Today's. So, look, it's not the most practical 7-seater on the market. You can, if you want really, really practical, then you're going to go for like an Everest or a Fortuna. But this doesn't really have any direct competitors considering its price range and what's on offer. So it's sort of like a little niche, little anomaly just by itself. And it's a great one at that. So it's something that I think you should consider. Crazy. Woo! Woo! I got a little party of my own.
Asking me to come over.
I have no idea what that dance move was. That should not be included in a video.
Bad shit, crazy. Bad shit.
You're bad enough to me, bad enough that we always have something to get over.
Oh, well, I just ruined that, didn't I?